Hello again, new viewers and existing subscribers. Welcome back to my channel. Today's story comes from Peter from the Netherlands, and he's offering a really interesting and multifaceted look at the world of relationships and dating in Thailand. Peter has spent a considerable amount of time observing and experiencing the dynamics between Western men and Thai women, and he's not holding back with his insights. From the motivations he perceives behind those working in the tourism and entertainment sectors, to his sometimes amusing, sometimes critical observations of other Western men he's encountered, Peter provides a candid perspective. He'll touch upon the allure and potential pitfalls of the 2-week millionaire mentality, the challenges of emotional detachment, and the stark realities that can underlie these interactions. Peter also shares his own experiences navigating the online dating scene in Thailand, recounting both promising connections and encounters that reinforced his evolving views. He'll even reflect on the long-term prospects of such relationships and what he believes are the key factors to consider. Get ready for an honest and thought-provoking exploration of the complexities of seeking connection in Thailand, as seen through the eyes of Peter from the Netherlands. This line of thinking, this pursuit of maximizing gain with minimal strain, is a core driver for many of the women involved in the Thai bar industry, often referred to as working girls. For individuals facing economic hardship or limited opportunities, this profession can appear to offer a quicker path to financial stability, even if it comes with its own set of challenges and risks. It's important to remember that while this might be a common underlying motivation, the individual circumstances and reasons for entering this line of work are incredibly diverse and complex, ranging from genuine economic necessity to other, more nuanced factors. Imagine a man who has consistently been surrounded by women throughout his life, attracting attention and forming relationships with individuals from all walks of life and various socio-economic backgrounds, from those in more disadvantaged circumstances to those in higher social circle, high-so being a colloquial term for high society in some Asian countries. To achieve such a consistent level of attraction across such a diverse range of women, this man would almost certainly possess a compelling combination of attributes. He might have striking physical attractiveness, a magnetic charisma that draws people in, or perhaps the financial means to provide a certain lifestyle or security. On the other hand, his appeal might be more subtle. Maybe he embodies the archetype of a speak-easy kind of guy, someone with an air of mystery, perhaps a bit rebellious, and possessing a certain charm and confidence that many women find irresistible. The kind of man who exudes an effortless allure and makes women feel special simply by giving them his attention. In my brief experience with internet dating, I always found it quite amusing, and sometimes even cringeworthy, to observe the ways in which some men choose to present themselves online. It's as if some guys are so incredibly self-absorbed and convinced of their own appeal that they become completely blind to how ridiculous their profiles and interactions might appear to an objective observer. They might post heavily filtered photos, boast about superficial achievements, or come across as overly aggressive or desperate in their messages. If I were a woman navigating those dating platforms, I honestly think I would find immense entertainment in gently mocking such individuals, perhaps leading them on with feigned interest just to see how far they would go, effectively turning them into my own source of online amusement, my internet toy. It's not a very kind thought, but the sheer lack of self-awareness in some profiles seems to invite such a reaction. It's not a huge leap to imagine that some of these very same men, who perhaps lack genuine connection in their own lives, are also the ones who end up sending money from thousands of miles away to someone they've never actually met in person, or have only known through online interactions for a very short period of time, To me, personally, this level of trust and financial generosity towards a complete stranger online is utterly unbelievable. These individuals are often referred to as the 2-week millionaires. Western men who come to places like Thailand with a significant amount of money, intending to have a short-term extravagant experience. Some of these men are straightforward in their intentions. They are simply looking for some fun and to engage in getting laid as many bar girls as they can during their trip. However, there's another side to this coin. Some of these men might initially approach the situation with a sense of being in control, like the Beaver Brigade looking for casual fun. But they can easily find themselves becoming the hunted, ending up like naive mice, caught in a carefully constructed mousetrap by the very bar girls they initially intended to simply fool around with. These women are often highly skilled at building rapport and understanding what these men are looking for, sometimes leading to emotional or financial exploitation. To successfully navigate the landscape as a 2-week millionaire without getting emotionally entangled, it requires a very strong and disciplined mindset. You need to be able to maintain a certain emotional detachment and not allow yourself to develop genuine feelings for the bar girls you interact with. This is easier said than done and requires a certain set of skills. Many of these women are genuinely beautiful and possess a captivating charm. They have often honed their social skills to a fine art, knowing how to be incredibly easygoing, positive, and attentive, which can be incredibly disarming and make it particularly easy for a visitor to develop romantic feelings. Their ability to make you feel special and desired can be very powerful. Furthermore, their physical appearance can be deceptive. Some of these women, even those in their 30s or 40s, can possess a youthful look that makes them appear much younger, sometimes even resembling teenagers. This combination of beauty, personality, and youthful appearance can make it exceptionally easy for some men to fall in love, or at least believe they are falling in love during their short stay. Some guys fall for the first girl they meet. Bar girls are there to receive money for their services, not to socialize or give you love. They can give you some time for understanding and talking, but that's it. In the end, they are only working for their fee, a free meal, and/or extra money for a taxi. Accept the fact they are working to support their lifestyle, and sometimes their lifestyle is not the best. You are entering a zone where prostitution, mafia, drug addiction, gambling problems, kids without fathers, and so on stay side by side. You are not only dating a bar girl. In fact, you are adding to your life some, if not all, of her life problems. This can be a huge turmoil of emotions. I can't imagine taking part in such drama. I read some stories across this site and boy, oh boy, some guys make all kinds of mistakes, even with big red flags everywhere. Einstein once said, "The definition of craziness is doing the same thing all the time, expecting a different output each time." Making a mistake is normal. A person can learn from it. What is not normal is doing the same mistake over and over again when you already know what the output will be. Spending money is almost universally seen as a pleasurable experience. There's a certain satisfaction that comes from being able to acquire things you desire, whether it's a new gadget, a delicious meal, or an enjoyable experience. When you spend a lot of money, that feeling of pleasure can be amplified significantly. It creates a sense of abundance and control over your environment and desires, making you feel powerful and in charge of your immediate world. In fact, in Thailand, particularly within certain industries catering to tourists, this feeling of being in charge can be quite pronounced, primarily because as a visitor with foreign currency, you often hold significant financial power. However, this sense of control often manifests as being in charge of paying big bills, for drinks, for entertainment, for companionship. It's common to encounter Western men who work diligently throughout the entire year in their home countries, often making sacrifices and saving carefully, all with the specific goal of having a decent amount of money to spend during their vacation in Thailand on things like alcohol and encounters with bar girls. There's arguably nothing inherently wrong with this. For many, it represents a period of indulgence and perhaps the best times they experience all year, a chance to let loose and enjoy themselves in a way they might not feel able or willing to at home. It does, however, make you wonder about the contrast in their lives. How do these individuals live the rest of the year in their home countries? Are they as free spending? Do they have the same social dynamics or opportunities for leisure and pleasure? It raises questions about their typical financial constraints and perhaps the reasons why they seek out this particular type of experience in Thailand. Once I met a guy in Phuket. He was working in a hotel in Patong, and he interviewed me regarding his functions in his office. He started asking me questions about my life in the West, and I tried to be honest with him as much as possible. In the next minute, he started telling me about how he started working in Phuket. His story is like so many stories told. He met his wife in a bar and she was working there at that time. The way he told me, making him so proud of marrying a former bar girl, made me puzzled. He was bragging like she was the hottest girl in town and like she only had eyes for him. His Thai was really bad. And when he talked with Thai people in the hotel, they only smiled like, "What the F are you talking about?" This is how every single soul looks when you brag about how you started dating and married a Thai bar girl. At the end of the story, this guy left everything he had in Australia, probably a steady job, much better paid, to marry a bar girl in Thailand and started a life in a paradisiacal island like Phuket. Only the last part looked good. I mean, living in a paradisiacal island like Phuket, he left his brain in Australia for sure. Note, this guy was in his 30s at the time, while I was 40, a young guy with his whole life in front of him. Maybe he already regretted his mistake, who knows. I think the best way to know someone to enjoy time with is looking in the right places, like malls, restaurants, shops, offices and so on. Even on the BTS or MRT. In other words, the right places are not Nana, Cowboy or Patpong, of course. You can look at the dating sites as well. Before I went to Thailand to spend some vacations, I found some good ladies on those sites, especially ThaiFriendly.com. One I will remember forever. She was half Thai, half Vietnamese, and she was working in an office in the Sukhumvit area, probably with good prospects of a career. She was saving money for her MBA in the US the next year. White skin, and pretty enough for someone to fall in love with. That time, I already made plans to go to Thailand, and when I arrived there, we made plans to meet, but not rush things up. It took 5 days for me to decide to meet her. Finally, I decided to meet her, and one night we met in Terminal 21, and it was pretty easy to arrange a date. She came alone, with no sister or friend, on time, or just 5 to 10 minutes late. What a nice surprise now I look back and know how many ladies are actually on time. She came and talked with me, and although she had a hard accent, her English skills were good enough to keep a conversation with. We went to Emporium Mall where we had dinner, and it was a pleasant dinner. We made arrangements to meet the next day. She came to meet me in my hotel near Asuka intersection, and we went to Chatuchak Market. The time ran easily with no pressure. She even paid for a massage for me near her room in Huai Kwang area. What I felt was a refreshing turn. She was intelligent, good looking but not stunning. Looked like she was a family girl, and she never made pressure for a relationship. although the way she looked at me sometimes made me think she was really interested. She tried that I kissed her, but I felt that was not the right time yet. That time I already made plans to go to Phuket, and she already made plans to go to Hua Hin with her family. When I returned back to my country, with time passing by, we ended up losing contact. But I will remember her as one of the most interesting ladies I ever met in Thailand. Not love at first sight, but with time I think we could have built something. In Phuket, I met another lady from my dating sites. She was too short and not the most attractive lady, although she had a nice body. Not exactly my type, but we spent some enjoyable time together. One thing that made me angry with her many times was the fact she always came late to dates. She was 1 hour late or more every time, which was terribly annoying. I remember I took her to my hotel during the night, where we spent some time exercising. In the morning, after she needed to leave to work on a well-known furniture shop franchise. But before that, we always took our breakfast together in the hotel, and then she always took me on her motorcycle to Patong Beach before she went to Phuket town to work. Life was good. She asked me 1 or 2 times if I was serious with her, but it wasn't my intention to have anything serious with her, so she quit on me, which was some kind of a relief for me, and let me free to have fun with some other ladies I met in Phuket that time. I was having the best time and was not attached to anyone. The ladies were easygoing, and I felt like if I decided to take anyone, she would come easily with me. Thailand has the easiest pussy I have ever seen in my life. They are so easygoing, but at the same time so deceiving. I always felt like I had a hook in my mouth. In fact, I never felt when I was related to any of those women I was a free man. Exception made perhaps with the first lady I met, the half Vietnamese lady. All of them wanted to control me and kept me on a short leash because of the other women around. They know exactly how they are, and they know how the other ladies there are as well, always trying to fish a good foreign prospect to be a future husband or boyfriend or whatever they think we are to them. The idea of having a Thai girlfriend attracted me in the beginning when I started to go there for vacations. But in fact, I always tend to look for the most attractive ladies, and that's not the best way to find my future partner. So I just gave up. One important factor to give up was the huge lack of intellectual curiosity for any matter outside Thailand. Most of the ladies' interests are in their meals, the way they dress, their face towards other people, and to find someone to support them. One thing I think is most annoying is the fact they are living for the moment. They don't think about the future, and they tend to fail to adapt to other lifestyles outside Thailand. I saw some cases in the country I'm currently living in, Europe. I don't know, I think some things will never change. So, when I see a foreigner with a Thai lady and posing so proudly, I always tend to think, what will be the future for them as partners in life? If they live in Thailand with the Farang money, I think it would be easier. And the guy will have eternal love until the money ends. Taking a Thai lady back to the West will be a hard endeavor. Lots of work and bureaucracy await those men. In the end, will it be rewarding? Some blokes I see in the bars, when I look from outside, look like they are having their best time, spending big money with honey. For the beholders, like me, they just look silly. Some of them look like kings. There's something that will never fit. Hotbirds with fat and ugly guys. The way these guys dress up says a lot about them. So, there you have it. A really insightful and thought-provoking perspective from Peter from the Netherlands on the world of relationships and dating in Thailand. We heard his observations on the motivations of individuals working in the tourism industry. His sometimes humorous takes on how some Western men present themselves, and his own experiences navigating the online dating scene, with both promising connections and some less successful encounters. Peter offered a candid look at the 2-week millionaire phenomenon, and ultimately shared his evolving thoughts on the long-term potential and challenges of forming meaningful relationships in this context. What are your takeaways from Peter's story? Have you had any similar experiences or observations about dating in Thailand or navigating cross-cultural relationships? Share your thoughts and insights in the comments below. We're always keen to hear your perspectives and foster a respectful discussion. If you found Peter's story interesting and it gave you something to think about, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you enjoy hearing these personal stories and diverse perspectives on life and relationships around the world, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.